Iconic guitars of the 80s. Ed had his stripes, DeMartini had his snakeskin, and George had his bones. Today we're going to take a look at the CWG J Frog Mom Bones guitar. Hey guys and gals, 40 Grit back again with another video. 40 Grit Guitars, 40 Grit Studios, 40 Grit Garage. Hey, had a lot of requests on this one. This is a CWG J Frog ESP Bones Mom guitar. She's got a lot of names. But if you're like me and you saw the It's Not Love video, that's when I fell in love with this guitar. Never thought in a million years I would have something that resembled the original so well. Chris Woods and George Lynch entered a deal, a partnership together on these guitars. For what I was told, this guitar was digitally taken off of the original Bones guitar, which I believe now hangs in the Hollywood or in the Studio City Hard Rock Cafe. So I may be wrong about that, but last I heard, that's where she's at. George stopped using it after the Burning Like a Flame video. I guess when they shot that video, it was extremely cold, and the guitar got messed up. Some of the pieces were falling off, came loose, etc. So around the Back for the Attack time frame, George stopped using the original guitar. I'm going to go through a walkthrough on it today. One-piece maple neck, ebony fretboard, maple cap on this, obviously, because of the carving. I think the backwood did vary depending on what was in stock or whatever he was using at the time. Ash, poplar, alder. I think it varies. But I was lucky enough to just stumble on this one night. It was very late. It got listed very late, and I think that nobody had a chance to look at it, and I fired an offer off to the guy, and he accepted my offer. So very fortunate to have this one. I will never get rid of it because there's always those little things on ones you see on Reverb or whatever. They're just not perfect. In my opinion, this one looked extremely close to George's original. So let's go ahead and take it out to the bench. Let's go take a look at it. This is the CWG Bones guitar. Okay, so taking a look here at the CWG Bones guitar. J Frog on the headstock, just like the original. ESP logo as well. I think that's what kind of kept George out of trouble with playing this. He just threw an ESP logo on it, or I had heard that at some point. Easy truss rod access, and that's a Godo string retainer. 1 11/16 nut on this one, 12-inch radius. The neck on this is extremely wide, wide and thin. Very similar to my DeMartini, but the DeMartini is 1 5/8 versus 1 11/16 on this one. Now, on the original Bones, 10th fret up was scalloped, as is this one. So I was pretty happy when I scored this one that the 10th fret up was scalloped. Obviously, I really don't play this one very often. It's more of a wall hanger. But we'll flip her over here and take a look at the rest of the neck, and then we'll get into the body. Grover tuners, signed by George. I do have a video on my YouTube page here that was shot before I started the page itself, of me and George looking at this guitar, talking about this guitar, him holding it, him playing it. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. There's a couple of them. As you can see, very thin, very wide feeling because of the thinness. I think it makes the neck feel better on the 1 11/16. A D shape for sure. D shape on this one. It's a one-piece maple on there. So I'll try to get super close up on this, but like I said in the opening, these were CNC'd off the original, from what I understand. So the original Bones guitar this is a CNC recreation. From my understanding, Chris Woods is still doing George's Bones guitars, even though George is doing them on his website for the Mr. Scary stuff. Floyd Rose is floating. I left it floating on this one because I don't know. I felt weird blocking Bones because it's always been floating. The original owner took out the Screaming Demon and put the Mr. Scary Arcane in there. That mounting plate looks suspect to me, but it's probably an early one is what I'm thinking. So I'll go ahead and one of these days I'll take a look at that. If I do swap it, I'd probably put a exciter in it or a Duncan distortion just to get back to that George Lynch stuff, because those if you're unfamiliar with the Arcane Mr. Scaries are Alnico 8 pickups. So if I go back to a distortion or I go back to the exciter, I will go back to a ceramic magnet in that. I did not change the pot. Surprise, surprise. I left it in there. I left this guitar pretty much all the same once I got it. Taking a look at the back here real quick. This is the finish on this is dirty. It's not. Oh, little ding there. I didn't know that was there. Finish on this is dirty. I just haven't wiped it down. I don't like wiping down these flat finishes. They're just problematic. So I just kind of leave them alone. A la ESP volume control cavity access, and the input jack is where it should be, as on the original Bones, sticking straight out the back. As you've seen in some of the videos of George backstage, you can see him playing the output jacks in the back. Whoever had this is, I believe this is a FU tone upgraded block. Looks like it's a 42 millimeter, and they got the high tension springs in this. Not really my thing, but again, this really isn't a player for me. I'll go around the outside of this too, so you can get an idea of just the construction on these. I really do feel that the Chris Woods ones were just fantastic. I mean, I always wanted one, and I stumbled on this one, so I guess lucky me. Some better shots around the side here. Detail on this is just crazy. It's just crazy. Cool guitar. Iconic guitar for all time. Long live the 80s. Because there ain't cool stuff like this no more. That's for sure. All right, let's take a look at the pickup on this. Pickup and within spec on Arcane, so I'm sure it's fine. 13.6K. That's within spec on the Arcane Mr. Scary. All right, let's get some weight on Bones here. The Bones guitar is coming in around 10.3 pounds on Bones. And if I didn't mention already, that's not a push-pull on this. We're not splitting the coil. It's just a standard volume knob. So a couple years ago, I went and did a meet and greet with George, and I took this guitar to have him sign it. There's a video on my YouTube of him and I hanging out and him playing the guitar. I walked in with this, and he looked at me, and he got all excited. He said, "Is that one of mine?" And I said, "No, I wish, George, but it's pretty close." Inside the case is pretty self-explanatory. These are the Gator flight cases that they used. It does come with a cool certificate. I guess this is number 2 of the 25th anniversary. I'm not sure exactly how many they did, but look it up if you'd like. This is number 2, and I had George sign it when we did the meet and greet. So I'm not going to demo this one. There's a awesome YouTube video that I'm going to throw in the description of the 25th anniversary, and I don't know who's demoing it, but it may be George, it may not be George, but the demo is fantastic. And prior to owning this guitar, I would sit and watch that video forever. So if you haven't seen it, I'll share that with you in the description. Please go watch it. It's really cool to hear this guitar scream ways that I can't make it scream personally. On a side note, I want to apologize to my subscribers. I want to apologize to my subscribers because I really haven't been posting that much this week. So early on in the videos, I said that I had absolutely nothing to do, and that this was my new thing. I was going to go through all my guitars, go through setups with you guys, go through everything, the stuff I know, and share it with you. fortunately slash unfortunately, I am back to work. I took a little sabbatical from my job, and I'm back at with the original people and all my buddies over there. So it's very good for me. Unfortunately, not good for my YouTube channel. So I will post as often as I can. I did pick up that Charvel Bullseye. I'm going to tear that one down to Parade Rest, and we're going to tear that one apart pretty good because it needs some TLC, and I'll go through some cool stuff. Maybe you'll pick something good off it. But I will post as much as I can, and if I'm not posting, I'm at work. So that's the way that's the way the cookie crumbles, as Bruce Almighty would say. So any questions, any concerns, any comments? I love the comments. I answer my comments as soon as I get home from work at night. And I just want to thank you guys for the support and the subscribers. Never thought in a million years you guys would care about 40 Grit or be interested in what 40 Grit had to say. But apparently there are some people out there that do. So I just want to thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. And my next guitar is probably going to be, I had some interest in that Hollow Flash, and I have some interest in that Charvel Bullseye. So I'll probably do the Bullseye next just because it's going to be a tear it apart, and we'll look in the neck pocket, and I may have to adjust the neck angle, and if I have to do anything like that, we'll go ahead and get that on video. Again, thanks for everything, and I'll see you guys on the next one.